Thank you, Rhea. Thank you so much. This month draws our attention, our awareness to another extraordinary quality of the soul, a power of the soul that each and every one of us we have, as the great founder, co-founder of this unity movement suggests in his book, The 12 Powers. The month of June calls us to a higher awareness, a higher consciousness of the spiritual quality that we call imagination. This is our month of imagination, and those of you who are born in the month of June, you are our imagination babies. And you come to call us all to a higher awareness of this power that each and every one of us have to not only change and rechange our experience, our individual life experience, but we can use this same power, the same power, to change our collective experience that we call the world. If you want to see peace in the world, by God, you got the power to make it happen. If you want there to be peace in the world, by God, you are the power to make it happen. But what often happens, most people don't know that they got the power, so they don't know how to use it when it's time to call it forth. But I want you to know today that you got it, whether you accept it or not, you still got it, and it's going to always be with you, whether you use it or not, you still got it. Got it? Good. The imagination power has been called the cookie cutter of the mind. It is the ability to shape what Catherine Ponder, one of the great teachers of this unity movement, New Thought teachers, call substance, universal substance. She says everything that exists in the visible realm was created out of invisible substance. And she calls the invisible substance of the universe dough. Dough, like cookie dough, pizza dough, biscuit dough, cupcake dough. I guess that's what you use to make cupcakes. No, you don't use dough to make, but you know what I'm talking about. Play-Doh. That you can use the cookie cutter of the mind, which is the imagination, to cut out of this invisible substance what you desire, and then you can change and reshape and reformat it, tweak it, adjust it, realign it in a way that works for you. The disciple that corresponds with imagination is Bartholomew. And if you put your hand here between your eyes, this is your Bartholomew. This is where your Bartholomew resides, not in history, but in you, the mystery. This is your Bartholomew, imagination. So as we continue with this idea for the month, we've launched a new series, because you enjoy series so much here. Not series on your phone. I'm talking about series. So, something's coming later. Entitled The Dream Demonstration Series 2016. And it is a call to awaken the conscious dreamer. The conscious dreamer within every man, every woman, every boy, and every girl. And there is a dreamer, a seer, a prophet, a prophetess, one who has the ability to look beyond the confines of what's showing up as your seeming reality and see the truth, whether it's in the distant, it's in the far distance, but the imagination, the seer within us enables us to do that and to create a different experience that we call truth. So in keeping with this series today, we'll focus on the power of a dreamer. How many of you consider yourselves to be a dreamer? You dream. How many of you recall your dreams? I mean, really, you wake up. Since a child, I've been seeing my dreams. My dreams are so foretelling. They're prophetic. They forewarn me at times. And was it forewarn? What's that saying? Forewarned is forearmed. You got it. The dreams will let you know. Since a child, I could see it in my dream state. And people often say, well, you got to interpret that thing. If you see it in color, it means this. If you see it in black and white, I'm like, no, let me tell you how it works for Jack Bomar. When I see it in my dreams, it happens just the way I see it. There's nothing, you don't have to add anything or take anything away from it. It's going to happen just the way I see it. And then there are times that I wake up and go about the day and something happens, or I'll see someone or have a conversation and it reminds me, oh, I saw that last night in my dream. Anybody been there? You know what I'm talking? Come on now. Don't act like I'm the only peculiar one out here. Don't leave me out here on the limb all by myself. I know I'm not the only peculiar one in this place called Unity Church of Hawaii. Dreamers are peculiar people with extraordinary power. I invite you to hear these words from the songwriter, Reverend Constance Mohorn Taylor says, I am the dreamer. I dream the dreams. God paints the pictures. I view the scenes. Dreams come from the Father of everything. God made me a dreamer, and I dream the dream. Yes, yes, God made me a dreamer, and I dream the dreams. Friends, there is that within the heart and mind of every individual, a dream. It's stirring, it is stimulating, a thrilling dream. And I'm not talking about hope or this wishful hoping Pollyanna nonsense. I'm talking about that in dream in this context is the deep-seated desire of the soul to have, to do, to be, to acquire anything of significance. It is of God. We teach in Unity that D-E-S-I-R-E, desire means of the Father. It is God. It is the infinite mind, the infinite one, the infinite way, the divine mind, supreme intelligence, the great grandfather spirit, the architect of the universe, tapping at the door of your heart and your soul, saying, open up your mind a little further so I can bring this good in, through, and as your life. God can't do any more for you than what God can do through you. It is the great universe. It is God, the infinite one, saying, open up your life and let something bigger, grander, greater, extraordinary come in and sup with you. I promise you, when it finds its way at your dinner table, your life will never be the same again. Your dream is looking for you just like you're looking for it. Your good desire is looking for you just like you are looking for it. Some of you have been running because you felt something traveling behind you, always following you. Oh, yes, something is on your trail. It's your dream. And it comes with goodness and mercy. And by God, if you surrender to it, life becomes sweet and ever so complete. The ultimate purpose in life, has been stated, is to become a conscious dreamer. A conscious dreamer, not just a sleeper having a dream, but a dreamer, conscious of your dreaming, that your ability to create your dream as your reality. It says the ultimate responsibility in life is to respond to the aspirations of the soul. And I love what Celine Dion says. She says, deep within each heart there lies a magic spark that lights the fire of imagination. And since the dawn of man, the strength of just I can has brought together people of all the nations. The power of the dream, the faith in things unseen, the courage to embrace your fear no matter where you are, to reach your own star, to realize the power of your dream. There are interesting facts about dreams, just in case you did not know. Those of you who have not been able to recall your dreams, let me share some research. It says the average person has over 1,460 dreams a year, but most people can only recall a handful of those. Most dreams last only 5 to 20 minutes. Scientists say the higher your IQ, the more you dream. I'm just telling you what it says. I'm only telling you what the research says. I didn't make this stuff up, so don't blame me for your non-dream state, all right? It says that work on your IQ. The higher your IQ, scientist says, the more you dream. The colder the room you sleep in, the more likely the person will have a dream that is not so pleasant. It says dreams enable us to see beyond the present realities in life. Dreams have a power of their own, and dreams inspire us and lift us beyond what we have gotten used to. If you've ever reached a place of complacency, all you need is a dream. You find someone who's become stagnant in their life. barely moving, just settling, getting by, making do. All they need is a dream. A dream will become fuel in your tank. It will become what Jeremiah called fire shut up in your bones. And it will not allow you to find peace until you say yes to this thing that God is desiring to bring forth in your experience. I know I've shared this story before, but I'm going to share it again. It says one day there was a boy around the age of 7 or 8. He was out playing in the yard and it had turned late. The mother called for her son. Says, "Sons, it's time to come in the house and prepare for bed." And the boy was just outside playing, and he was mesmerized by what he saw in the heavens. Something was there, and the mother says to his father, "Go and get your son." The father goes to the door to the backyard and says, "Son, it's time to come in. It's bedtime." And something unusual occurred. Said the boy, who was so fixated on what he saw in the heavens, turned to obey his father without question, without resistance, made his way through the door, up the steps to his bedroom. And there his father says, "I'll be up in an hour or so to tuck you in." When the father reached the bedroom of his son, he saw his son gazing out the window, staring into the moonlit night. And the father says, "Son, it's time to go to bed." And the son says, "Father, one day I'm going to walk on that moon." And the father thought, what a silly thing that my child has said. He's been reading some of these fairy tale books. He says, "It's time to go to bed." And the boy got in bed, pulled the covers up, and he said again, "Father, one day I am going to walk on that moon." And who would know that some 32 years later, James Irwin would become the 8th man to step foot on the moon. How did he know? How did he know that this would be possible? The audacity to think that something bigger than his current reality existed. And we're taught that, actually, I believe he had some sense of truth, Danny. Because what we judge or name as our present reality is really the illusion. The illusion will change. It changes. There's only one truth. There's only one reality. And it is God, and it is good. I'm telling you what I know. When I stand here to preach and to teach, I stand as a dreamer, one who's living the dream. And I know I'm not the only one in here. As a child, I saw it. Daydreaming in school, elementary school and junior high and high school, staring out the windows. I would have this dream over and over and over again. Standing on stage someplace with lights everywhere and people, I could never see what I was doing, but I knew that something was happening. And even now, my older siblings would ask me, "Jack, tell me about your life." They said, "You always did dream of traveling the world and meeting beautiful people and living life grand-like. Is it happening?" I'm like, "You better bet your bottom dollar it's happening." I am a dreamer. God made me that way. And we all are. And you don't have to hate on anybody who's living it, who's demonstrating it. All you got to do is do what the master teacher did. Says, lift your own consciousness and awareness of what's possible for you. And he says, if I be lifted up, not all of the nonsense in the world, not the fighting and the bickering and the hating and the bigotry and the racism and all of the sexism and all of the genderism. If I be lifted up, I will draw all corresponding manifestations unto me. Lift up what's true. Lift up what's real. Paul says, be not conformed to this world of illusion, but be ye transformed. Be ye made over, made anew by the renewing of your mind. It's a mind thing, you know. It's really mind over matter. If you don't mind, it won't matter. I'm trying to let it go. Albert Einstein is noted for saying imagination is more powerful than any other force in the world. Imagination is more important than even knowledge. Chuck Danes, the founder of the Enlightened Journey Enterprise, says the power of imagination transcends logic and taps into the infinite field of potential where all probabilities already exist. Hear this, hear this, hear this, please. Imagination is the magnet that draws the thing imagined from the place of infinite probability to finite reality. Imagination. And when you dare step into the seat of a dreamer, you work this power of imagination. And all dreamers live in that land. It's an interesting land. A peculiar land where magic happens. It is a land of possibilities, probabilities, all things. All things. I wish I had one witness in here today. All things are possible. Magnetize the mind. How do we do it? For the mind, your mind is a magnet. It has drawing, attracting power. The thoughts that you habitually think, the ideas that you habitually turn over and over in the mind, it will draw. For instance, if you're working on, come on, names, toss something out. Come on, give me an idea what you're working on. You said brokenness. No, don't work on that. What'd you say? Degree? Okay, you're working on a degree. All right, world peace. All right, come on, let's work on world peace. We'll stick with world peace right now. That's really good. Come on, world peace. Magnetize your mind for world peace. How do we do it? Get the idea right now. The idea of world peace in your mind. If you need to breathe in, breathe out. If you need to turn within, get the idea of it in your mind. Bring it closer than your hand and your feet. Set your intention for world peace. What does peace look like? Give it a color. Give peace a color. Give it a color. Whatever it is for you. Now begin in your own mind to see your own life, your life imbued and just overwhelmed with this color of yellow or whatever it is, this color for peace. And then see this same color moving out into the world. Set the intention that peace is all that you'll see. When anything else unlike peace shows up, say that's a lie. There's no truth in it. There's only peace. I'm not giving you any power, for my attention is the oxygen for you to live in my world, and you have no room in my world. So I'm only breathing life into peace. Turn it over and over. Now look, open your eyes and look at me. Now you get some images. This is the second thing of how we magnetize the mind. You get images of peace. Images, it could be in the magazines. Those of you who are in Unity, you've done the treasure map. Have you done treasure mapping? Who's not familiar with treasure map or mind map? Raise your hand. If you're not familiar with it, it's a wonderful tool to captivate the conscious mind, and that's all you got to do. Captivate the conscious mind, which is the keeper of the gate. And the conscious mind must be tricked into allowing the pure image of light to penetrate the womb of the soul, which is the subconscious. That's why we come to class, we learn all of this stuff. But you cut out images from magazines. You can do it on your computer now. That reflects the desire of your heart. Just like the lady who, for 6 years, she wanted a Lexus. Every time I saw her, prayed, Reverend Jack, that I get this Lexus. I'm like, you haven't gotten that Lexus yet. 6 years later. And so she said, well, pray. Will you pray? I've been praying for you for 6 years. I'm like, what are you doing? You got to do something. Help God out. Give God something to work with. I'm like, well, where are you going to park your Lexus? She says, I'm going to put it in my garage. I'm like, well, what's in there right now? She says, my other car. I'm like, well, get that jalopy out. get that Mazda out and make room for your new Lexus. You know, you're not ready for your good yet. You haven't made room for it. You're still holding on to what has been, trying to get what will be. She made room for it. I'm like, now get an image. Go and find the image of the Lexus. What color do you want? What year do you want? Cut out what you want. Put it on your mirror. Put it on your wall. Somebody, I don't know who you are, you can put that image of wholeness, of love, of unity, of peace, of a good relationship, of a healthy body, or whatever it is. She put that image on her mirror. She put it on her bedroom door, on her door that she had to exit the house. Within 3 months, she had her new Lexus. Exactly what she wanted. It was no trick to it. It was that she got her mind ready. She magnetized her mind. It will work for love. It will work for peace. It will work for oneness. It will work for unity. It will work for any manner of prosperity. It will work for health if you work it. The third thing, impress this new information into your subconsciousness through repetition until it becomes a new attitude. That great theologian of the 20th century, Flip Wilson, says what you see is what you get. And as you're working on it, as a dreamer, sometimes you might have to fake it till you make it. But you put it in motion. You begin to act as if, not as it will be, as if it is now. Put it on now. The dreamer looks into the now and see what's possible now and uses the power of imagination now, because your creation now will show up in your tomorrow. Make it happen now. This is the power of a dreamer. I dare you to work it. I double dog dare you to work it. I double dog dare you to work it. And watch, see how it will work for you. God bless you.